Alright guys, so now we're going to glue the coil assembly in place. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and mix up some epoxy here again. And I'm going to be putting it on the spider landing. I've got my shims in place. What I did go back and do was on like the positive and negative, you got like a red and a black piece of plastic under here, and it's a guide to hold those, and you got one up on top. What I did was I took the top ones off on each side and then sanded a little notch so that they would, it would fit in there a little better. So I'm just going to mix up this epoxy here, and then we'll get it put on that landing. What I got my clamps also laid out already. That way I can clamp, put 2 clamps everywhere I can get them around the basket. Alright. Just bear with me here for a second. Just going to put it all along the landing here and just kind of smooth it out. Sorry about the bump of the camera there. And what I did was, I always keep something on my Lazy Susan, my turntable. I always keep towels and stuff down because, of drip. Like even when there's like bolt holes, when you can bolt the clamps down, it can run through those as well. And one of the things I like about using epoxy is it's pretty self-leveling. Like once you put it down and you give it a little bit, it's pretty self-leveling. Let's make sure I get it around the terminals there. I just want to get a healthy bead of epoxy in there. Make sure it covers the landing really good. And like I know, it's going to squeeze out. So, if you guys, when you're doing this, you're going to have some epoxy that's going to run out. And again, that's why I always put, like a towel down so it doesn't gum up my Lazy Susan. Sorry I keep bumping the camera, but I got it kind of up close, so maybe you guys can see a little better this time. These are just usually the boring parts of everything, it's not much to say. Just letting you know, you just want to get it good and even all the way around. And like I said, if you get a little bit that runs over, it's not a problem. You can wipe, usually just wipe it right off. Okay. So Just checking that I got it all the way around really good. Alright, so looks like it's pretty good. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is drop the coil assembly in place. Spin it just a little bit back and forth. Get it good and lined up so I can get my clamps down. Make sure everything, sits good and flush. And then just work my way around. Again, like I said, I prefer epoxy over the CA because at this point, like when you set it in there and you go to spin it, a lot of times when it'll just stick in place. So, you want to make sure it's everything looks good there. Leads are lined up good. Alright, so as you can see, like, well, I don't know if you can or not, to be honest with you, but the epoxy, it seeps up when you press it down. It comes up all the way up to the edge there really good. And as you can see, like I said, I glued from the upper spider to the lower spider, I filled in a little bit of a channel between the two on that spider adapter, and that way it's a good epoxy bead around it that'll also help hold the upper and lower spider together on the outside edges. But everything looks pretty good there. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this set up probably, good 30 or 40 minutes. And I'll come back and I'll put the cone on in place and test fit it one more time, and then I will pull the cone back off and I'll start soldering my lead wires down to my push terminals there. In this kind of particular basket design, and a lot of them, you can't get into the leads. Like if you make a hole drop in and pull it back out, you really can't get in there. Even sometimes when you fold the surround back, it's hard to get in there and terminate. So what I like to do is I just like to glue the coil and spider assembly in place. Go ahead and terminate, solder, put my heat shrink on it, and then go back and put the cone on and, solder my leads and stuff, and then glue it up there, and then go ahead and glue the surround down after the fact, and then come back and cut my former down. So anyways, that's got this particular part of it done, and I'll be back once this sets up.